Recently, we've had a bit of an insurgency, a bit of a rise in the Me Too movement, specifically on YouTube and online creators instead of the mainstream. Although there have been a few mainstream people accused as well, but it's mainly, from what I see, is that it's mainly YouTubers, Twitch streamers, all these people, internet personalities, so to speak, and they've been hit with a slew of Me Too, of sexual assault allegations, all these things, and for the first time, I'd say there's very credible, you know, reasons and evidence to suggest that these are lies, and I think somehow, this just shows you how fucked up the world is right now. Logan Paul has said it best, so let's take a look.
Are now a woman who cried wolf, and you've diluted and invalidated the actual victims of sexual assault and rape. When you use the word rape, that is a heavy fucking word. It's one thing to accuse a person who didn't do it. It's an entirely another thing to invalidate an entire movement of, again, actual victims. Do you know how? I have no fucking idea. I can't even say I can't imagine how traumatic it must be to go through something like that, and then after years, finally having the courage to speak up and having something.
Yeah, I mean, he said it perfectly. Frankly, when you choose to make yourself a victim and a story over nothing, just for some sick inner, I don't know what kind of feeling you get from it, whatever kind of sick thing you're into. What you don't realize is that you're destroying an entire movement, an entire piece of work. People have worked really hard to get the Me Too movement to where it is right now, and by the way, there's a lot of issues with the Me Too movement in that they have some kind of double standards, so they don't call out Joe Biden for sexual assault, but they do call out Donald Trump anyway. So I don't want to really link everything to politics, but it's a little sidebar for you all. Yeah, so people somehow decide that they choose their own, story. They choose to make themselves grand over an entire movement that has struggled to give women a voice, and the opportunity to be heard and fairly, and make it so that we trust women instead of directly just accusing them of being liars. And the whole thing is, this really, really hurts these kind of cases, because the whole reason why sexual assault is hard to prove is because it's always about testimony. It's usually testimony versus testimony, and that is not enough to prove something beyond probable doubt. Reasonable doubt. So when you, just by doing this, accusing people just to make yourself some headline, just to make yourself famous, or whatever you really want to achieve, I don't know, whatever it is, it's kind of fucked up. You're degrading, diluting an entire movement that was there to assist women, to help women in court and in life and in their social lives, so that they're helped and believed and understood, rather than being accused of being, I don't know, just horrible things, frankly, liars, disingenuous, all these things. So yeah, these some women, specifically the case made against, I think it was Justin Bieber, was specifically bad because nothing really added up on that one. Also, Logan Paul talks about, so in this segment he talks about an incident that he had, and then that he didn't even know the girl, and then she took the video down. I mean, what are you girls doing? Listen, it's taken a long time for people, for men, for anybody to believe women when they come out with a story, which is an incredibly hard thing to do, and you're just gonna rip that off. You're gonna take away all their integrity. You're gonna dilute an entire movement just for your sick, narcissistic self. yeah, that's just really sad. It really, I say sad a lot, but this is genuinely really sad. Um, and I think I'm not sure if there is, but there should be a criminal charge that comes with falsely accusing if you can prove it. Actually, I don't think there is at the moment, but that should definitely be a thing. If you can prove that somebody's falsely accusing somebody of sexual assault and you know, destroying their name, destroying their career, there should definitely be a penalty to that, I think. Yeah, man, and if you're one of those women, please stop, because look, I'm not even a woman. I'm not even the one bearing the brunt of this. I'm literally speaking out for those people that would potentially be affected and could be, you know, victims of assault, of sexual assault, and specifically with the word rape. I advise people to be careful with it, because yeah, just don't throw it out like it's, you know, ant or pony. You know, it's not. It has a different weight to it, a different significance to it. So please, those women, stop. Take down your videos. Stop being little bitches that are narcissistic. If you are lying, by the way, so that those that are actually saying the truth can be heard and can be heard and trusted. And yeah, that's about it, really. So that's this new whole Me Too thing, and I hope this stops soon, so that, you know, the damage on the movement can be limited, at least.